hello, everybody. It is the first official Bell and the Birdmen Block Party. Welcome on in. Of course, if you're wondering why we're not like physically in person and drinking bourbon and I'm not, shoving glass after glass down my face right now, it's because we're in our Discord live, and that's where you could be, because we're going to be doing that pretty much throughout the entire season as we go along, is, give our Discord a lot of fun treats tonight, including some major announcements, which I'm very excited about. After a long July of pounding the pavement, I think we have got some pretty great things, including telling you about our tailgate, which is kicking off against the Vikings and Kirk Coupons. And, man, couldn't have picked a better one for the Monday night opener. So very excited about that. But Vince Quinn, first and foremost, how are you, the most beautiful man on the show?
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
I'll take it.
What, are you calling Taylor ugly?
Well, you said you said out of the show. Taylor's a part of the show.
I said you're the most beautiful.
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm not fucking handsome. And are you saying Taylor's not handsome?
Well, you said I'm the most beautiful person on the show.
Right.
So
now,
what's confusing
mean
about
we're
this?
Ugly. It means when you walk into the room, you're going to get the date, and we're going to be, hanging out in the corner. That's all.
All I said was 1 out of 3 ain't bad. I wasn't like, yeah, fuck you, ugly pieces of shit. No, it's fine. You're gorgeous men.
Thank you.
I'm good. Let me ask you this, John. When you hear Block Party, what song do you think of?
Oh man, probably a lot of really bad stuff. EDMP.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because I'm a schmuck and I grew up in the late 80s and 90s.
What did you call them?
EDMP.
EPMD?
That's yeah, exactly, right.
See, you know what I think of?
Wait, Vince, you know EPMD?
No,
I thought he was going with
you got to chill. No, it's the most famous song.
See, at first I thought he was talking about EDM, so I was like, "Wow,
Strictly Business." There you go. Thank you,
Ragers
Ryan.
for block parties. Damn, it's like that's the weirdest block party music I think I've ever heard. But okay,
and like Guns N' Roses. That's like the two things that I think of when it comes to block party.
Welcome to the Jungle is like the most stereotypical block party song of all time. You know what I had in my head? It was weird. First thing that popped in the head for me was that old like 1950s. Take out the papers and the trash.
Because you watch
you don't get no spending cash. Yeah,
you watch the Great Outdoors too much.
Maybe that's it. I just have that like it's like that Sandlot 1950s vibe is like that's kind of what I think of when I think of like if that wasn't the 50s. It's got that old romanticism to it, a block party.
What in the world is I would never go to Vince Quinn's block party. Check.
I didn't say it's the first song I'd play. It is the first thing I've thought of because
Then what's the first song you play?
But easiest song that everybody loves is hold on, Don't Do Me Like That from Tom Petty. Nobody hates that song.
God.
That is a totally solid starting off.
It's a total shrug.
God.
Yeah, big time
excuse
shrug.
me.
It's a shrug of a song.
Diehard metalheads, God forbid.
I'm not playing metal at a block party.
All right. Well, yeah, you play Tom Petty. People like Tom Petty.
All right. Well, that's to be debated, and this is to be debated too, folks. I don't know if it's not exactly Eagles related, or is it? Josh Harris has finally laid down the hammer at a very early hour, I might add. That press release came out at 6:30 in the morning. They wanted to make sure they were the belle of the ball of the day. Unfortunately, I'm going to find a way to talk about the Sixers, but really make it more importantly about the Eagles, because I think that's what's happened here, everybody. If you didn't hear, Josh Harris and the Philadelphia 76ers are moving to Center City. That's right. They are getting out of the Farg, and they are going to take over the Gallery, which they're calling the Fashion District. And sorry, it was only the Fashion District for like a year and a half. So stop that already. And it didn't work, so you're destroying it and building a very nice new stadium involved in there, and that's great. All right, Vince Quinn, when you saw the headlines, you're like, okay, great. Did you think about the Eagles at all? Because I did immediately as soon as that headline came out.
No, the first thought for me was sadness, and oddly enough, I got quoted by
NBC.
Yes, wistfulness, John. I was thinking about it was NBC Sports Philly picked up my tweet and put it in an article. It was the headline of their article.
Because you're pretty.
Well, yeah, I was in the sunflower costume too from earlier in the season, so that played well. But yeah, because for me, it's like what I've loved so much about Philly is that South Philly Stadium complex is the most Philly experience you can have, I think. Like, to be down there on a certain night, especially when, I don't care what two teams it is, when you've got any two teams that are playing, but especially those moments when it's like, it's a Phillies game over here, it's an Eagles game over here, Taylor's shaking his head, but he's wrong. That synergy, like, that getting that energy of all those people in one place and how electric it can get is special to me. I love that.
If it's Flyers and Phillies, no one cares.
When the Flyers were good like 4 years ago and they were kind of young and exciting, and now those guys are like, you know, it's like, oh, okay, well, none of this worked. But back then, a couple years ago, yeah, like the Phillies have made the playoffs in 10 years, so they suck ass. But yeah, like there's times when they can be exciting, and like when you get that vibe, it's just through the roof. So my first thought was like, man, I can't believe that this thing is going to start breaking down.
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad that just for what it's worth, I'm glad the Sixers aren't moving to Camden. And who knows, maybe that still happens and they pull a fast one or something like that. But if this stays hold, I am quite happy because I feel as though this is the most opportune time for the Philadelphia Eagles, who unfortunately, Vince Quinn, built a stadium 2 years before the iPhone came out. So it's going like, hey, oh, man, shoots. And then you're looking at SoFi Stadium, and then you're looking at all these new huge stadiums being built around the NFL. I bet you Jeffrey Lurie couldn't be happier that the Philadelphia 76ers are heading to Center City, because now here it comes where I believe the tinfoil hat could become a regular theory, and I'd like to start that right now because it's the offseason of the block party.
It's never happened the whole time in the history of the show. You've never had a single tinfoil hat theory. No, Taylor, take a note of that. We're now starting John's tinfoil hat theories.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
It's official finally today.
There we go.
We've been dying.
I think that if I'm the Flyers, I'm shaking my boots. More importantly, if I'm Comcast, which owns the Flyers in that building, I'm shaking in my boots, because at any time, you know, if the Sixers end up winning a championship, let's just say, and put that good thoughts in everyone's head, I think that would probably increase the timeline of that stadium being built, because Josh Harris is Josh Harris and he's filthy rich and whatever. Like, Comcast is getting out of regional sports, right? There is not really going to be an NBC Sports Network, period. They're moving all their sports to USA if they still are hanging around. So, I like, what's to say? And I know everybody's favorite thing has been, like, they've invested $350 million in this. Yes, but what's to stop Jeffrey Lurie from going, I don't care. I just want the property. You don't really want to be in sports anymore, and I want a new stadium. I'm going to level that, make this huge thing that goes from where the Link currently sits now, right on over to where the Wells Fargo thing sits, and just own all of South Philadelphia with a gorgeous new stadium, a nice gambling partner right next to it, and just like this huge Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame, basically. I would think that that is where this leads to. Like, by 2028, you bet your bottom dollar that the Eagles are building a new stadium, because by then it'll be 30 some odd years old. And that was exactly when, like, the vet started breaking down, and shout out to Jeff Kerr for saying that to me this morning as we were talking about all this. But I think the Eagles own that plot somehow. And let's take it a step further.
Okay.
The Flyers are a depreciating asset, correct?
Yes, depreciated already.
So
man,
if Josh Harris doesn't somehow pull the trigger and just buy the Flyers outright, which would make more sense, or that makes Jeffrey Lurie's job much easier, but I think Jeffrey Lurie should go and buy the Flyers right now. Just like, if Snyder owned two teams, he owned the Sixers and the Flyers, why can't Jeffrey Lurie just hand off to your favorite friend Julian and say, Julian, go run the Eagles. I'm going to go run the Flyers with my new other co-owner, and, like, you could own the city that way too.
Okay, if starter kit Julian Lurie, what he gets is the Flyers to learn the ownership gig hands on, and then he took over the Eagles. I kind of love that. I do. I kind of love that. It's insane, but I love it. Also, the idea of them buying the space makes a lot of sense then, because, yeah, I mean, look, if the Sixers are getting out of there, what are the Flyers going to do? I mean, hockey arenas are generally smaller. You could probably build something, who knows where they put
Give
it.
residency to Taylor Swift for like, I don't know, 200 nights.
As somebody who was previously in the top 5% of Taylor Swift listeners on Spotify, John,
God.
yeah, I've got a problem.
Not surprising.
We've got a lot of problems over here in our block party.
Yeah,
Send help.
I was at a Backstreet concert a week ago.
Oh, God, that's right.
That was hilarious. That was so funny. I have no regrets. It was the best $30 I could spend on a Thursday. It was really funny. But yeah, seeing how all that could shape out. And here's the other thing too. Let's say the Eagles on the other side, they do go somewhere else. They move the stadium. They're anywhere. I mean, they go to the Northeast. They're in Camden. They're in Delaware. They're wherever they end up going. Now that this is opened up, they've got the opportunity here to more gracefully exit South Philly. Because everything else around, if you're looking at all these plays, they could go to Newark. Who cares? Wherever they go, they've got the opportunity now to go, oh, well, the Sixers are leaving South Philly. They're leaving the complex. It's okay for them. So now
That's
it's
a
easier.
good point, too.
It softens the blow. So if I'm the Eagles, I look at that and go, this is great. It's easier for us to go anywhere we want to go. And all these teams are moving. I mean, the Chicago Bears, they're moving to like an hour outside of Chicago because they bought a racetrack. So they bought a racetrack. They're going to convert it. They can do whatever they want, build the whole facility around it. That's where the league's going. That's where sports are going.
Taylor, I saw you giggling over there. What were you giggling about?
I was just imagining the new Sixer Stadium in the middle of Cotton Ave in the Northeast, as if that's not the most dangerous area to drive your car already.
Kensington. We're going to go to K&A. And they're gonna have the Flyers play at K&A.
Yeah.
Cotton might be worse.
Yeah.
Like driving wise.
Yes.
Driving wise.
Well, with the 30 lanes that don't get anywhere, Cotman's brutal. Yeah. I do not miss that drive.
By the way, shout out to Ryan Meehan in the Discord along with us. He would his wife would go to 200 out of the 200 Taylor Swift nights. So I think there'd be a lot of us there.
There we go.
It's not that bad of an idea.
Someone with taste.
I think this is going to be a mass exodus from what we know from the South Philadelphia complex, right? I mean, there's really only and shout out because we're going to be right next to it at the Navy Yard, and there's more on that in a second. But outside of that, there isn't really a ton, going on there, and nor do we. Well, here is one interesting thing that I think you pointed out at dinner, which I don't think a lot of people have thought of. Sixers fans not being able to tailgate in the parking lot is going to be weird.
It's
right?
chaos.
Like it's going to spill out on the streets. So, where are you going to hang out before a Sixers game?
Wait, do they tailgate?
I would figure, especially later in the season, right? Like October, you could, but the season essentially starts in November, so that's not really tailgating weather so much. But March, April, May, the Sixers can't make it to June, but if they did. Tailgate scenes would be insane. If it's in Center City now, honestly, the closest
they got the Hard
place,
Rock. It's right
there.
there.
You go. Well, the other spot that you can go to that makes the most sense is Independence Mall. Are we going to have people tailgating at Independence Mall every day?
Well, there's
they can't. They're not going to tolerate that. It's a state park, I think.
Don't they have that beer garden that's down there? That's like 5 blocks away.
Independence Beer Garden is there.
Off Market, yeah.
Yeah. So that's right next to Independence Mall. But I think it's only open for so many parts of the year because it's outside. So for most of the season, you're not going to be able to go there. And that's the problem. So the tailgating thing is going to get really messy, and nobody wants to really go to a bar all that often before the game. It's like, especially if it's a smaller thing like a Sixers game where they have 1 million of them.
I wondered, this is my other question too. Do you feel as though the link needs to be redone? Like I've never there for some reason. There's a lot of people that were standing up for the link today, and I'm kind of back and forth on it. Like, it has no charm. It never did. It's a good stadium. But
you just said it had no charm.
I know.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's no charm to it. It's still a good stadium in terms of the structure. Okay, there's great viewing points. There really isn't a bad seat. The concessions are really good. I feel like the Eagles do an awesome job of at the gates, the tickets, all that stuff. I don't feel like my experience is being ruined, but it doesn't have a snarl. One big complaint that we've always kind of said since the vet left, and it's loud, but it's not loud enough. It's like you cheer in that place, and it's like, there's nothing to catch or grab it, and I've always hated it about that. So I would like to Seattle Seahawks / Atlanta Falcons this thing if that's in the cards. I don't know. I don't really look at the Link as like a great, modern, awesome stadium. Do you?
All right. No, 7 out of 10. It's
7 out of 10's good.
Exactly. It's good. It's not an eyesore. It's a nice looking stadium on the outside. It's not like overwhelmingly gorgeous, but and it's functional on the inside. It does fit that Citizens Bank mold. It also kind of sort of reminds me a bit of have you ever been to Citi Field where the Mets play?
Never.
Because Citi Field is like the bank, but with way less personality, and that's it. It was just a place. It was like it didn't feel like the Mets even owned that stadium for a while, and then everyone was like, "Hey, what the fuck? This sucks." And then the Mets changed a bunch of shit about the stadium, but that's what it was. So it does kind of have that feel. Like you said, it is older, and again, if the Eagles are changing to Kelly Green as their full-time uniform in the next year or two, well, then doesn't it make more sense to have a full stadium where all the seats, everything in there, all the design is this new era, next generation? It's all Kelly Green.
Vince Quinn just made us all a little less crazy because that sounds pretty logical to me. And what you've been preaching this whole time, Vince, Julian Laurie needs a footprint somewhere. Why not give him a brand new stadium to be like, this embarks Julian and his stupid fonts and his dumb choices on restaurants and whatever other dumb stuff he's going to put. But, like, here's my other theory that I've told to both of you, and I'm really curious about this, too. Do they, just like the Chicago Bears, which you mentioned earlier, do they try the old alley-oop and go down to Delaware, where I know, like, I don't know if anyone has ever been to the Delaware Casino. Have you guys been there recently or heard of it?
Delaware Park?
Delaware Park.
I used to live there. Yeah.
We all did.
Yeah.
Gambling horses over there.
For work.
I was there every Saturday for work for like a year and a half.
That's quite the scene. My God.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of slobber on the slot machines, basically. And, you know, just like Arlington, that's an outdated racetrack that's there. And correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, Eagles' partnership was DraftKings? Is that right?
Ooh, is everybody DraftKings?
I'm
I feel like
sure,
in the
like,
NFL, yeah.
Whoever
Feels like
their gambling partner is, I would assume that they would want, you know, they see Philly Live, they see all these other different places around the complex. They're going, well, why don't we just take that gambling license that they have from Delaware and yank it on up here and see what that's worth? And everybody just goes away because that's I think that's one of the last family-run casinos in the business. So my theory is, casino license and retractable dome.
Yes, thank God. I mean, yes.
What do you think?
It has to be. I've been saying this for years, man. It has to be a retractable dome. And any sports owner that's worth their shit at all totally understands that's where it needs to be. It's sound business. I mean, look, you can run events all year long, doesn't matter. Northeast, you can close the roof, you can do whatever you want. You can run a Super Bowl, nobody's going to debate you on it. It's a closed roof.
Say that again, you
can run a Super Bowl.
There you go.
Yes, which, I mean, mini fucking Appolis was where the Eagles won. It was what, like -5 some days?
Yeah, it was.
Didn't matter in the stadium. They still hosted the Super Bowl. So you're going to do that. Like, you open yourself up to so much more money by being a closed roof, retractable roof venue. So you have to do it.
Ryan on fire tonight. Julian is a stupid fonts is my favorite band. So I think that should probably be a T-shirt at some point in time.
For Nanks, who's disappointed, saying, "Am I to understand Julian Laurie is not the special guest? Not this year, but Julian Laurie, you're invited to the block party, and you should be here next year. You're welcome on the show anytime."
Yes,
Unibet is their gambling
Unibet.
partner.
Okay,
Unibet. I don't even know what that is.
You don't know? It's been around
it's
the
not
longest,
much.
haven't they?
I think it's mainly started with like horses and stuff, and then slowly went into like DraftKings.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Sports betting.
That makes total sense. So yeah, like in the nearest future, I would believe, no matter what, this indicates that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to build a new stadium, and a lot of things are changing. As you know, earlier this week, Heinz Ketchup, see you later, bye bye. They are no longer on the Steelers Stadium, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, awesome sauce. Here's your chance to go take over Pittsburgh, fellas.
Yeah, go get them, guys.
Go kill 'em.
Go get them.
Heinz is down already, so congratulations to them, too. A lot of things are changing here, Vince Quinn, including some pretty big news, actually. Which one should we go with first?
Well, let's start with this first. We are going to have a special guest in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So 9 o'clock, we are going to have a special guest, and then what we're going to do is after the special guest, we're going to be talking a lot with you. So back and forth, we'll leave the floor open. We're going to have a lot of conversation. It's going to be a lot of fun. But first, John, Can we talk about the first home tailgate of the season?
Officially, now on the clock and available. Ladies and gentlemen, the first tailgate of the season available on phillysportstrips.com.
Let's go.
Woo! We just got the news, and Vince got the contracts, and we're a go. So it's officially happening. It's live on the website, and I couldn't be more excited. And by the time you're listening to this right now, and because the Discord is amazing and you're here, you're going to get the biggest jump of all of this as for the next, well, until Saturday at 11 a.m. Is that correct,
So
Vince?
Saturday at 11 a.m. And what we're going to do is also we're going to put all these links and things in the chat for you in a second here. So you can go sign up and use the beautiful, wonderful, amazing promo code that we have for you. We got you a discount, folks.
Woohoo! Normally 85 for this juggernaut of an all-inclusive tailgate, which is happening here, and this makes it very easy for a lot of the out-of-towners that might be coming here for the Monday night opener. Definitely remember this, all-inclusive. That means mimosas, Bloody Marys. Well, probably won't be drinking those at 8 o'clock at night, but they're available if you need to be. A wide beer selection from labels like New Belgium to God knows what else, because we're bringing in a freight train of high-end, no more Bud Lights, okay? No more of that crap. I've had too many headaches with too many tailgates. We're going to have World Craft sodas. And ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce that we will have Bell and the Birdmen branded vodka and whiskey at this event from our friends over at 2D Distillery. And we'll get into that later, as you know, it's actually made and in our hands and we're drinking in it. So a lot of fun stuff there. Not to mention, it is a 10-minute walk from the Gatehouse to Lincoln Financial Field. So whether you're heading to the game and want to have a ton of liquid deaths to get yourself, rehydrated after pounding a bunch of, beers and whiskeys and great, amazing foods as well, you can also just walk right into the Gatehouse and just enjoy the game with us, because we're going to be live streaming from there for at least 6 of these bad boys as well.
Baby!
So there you go. Just like we did last year, we'll be live for definitely every home game. And you can just enjoy, $5 beers with us and just hang out with, again, excellent food at the Gatehouse. And it's going to be an incredible time. So go to phillysportstrips.com right now and use the promo code BIRDS2022 to get $10 off this $85 all-inclusive tailgate ticket, and you just don't have to worry about anything and have a great time. That's it.
And guys, I really got to tell you, because I've watched this firsthand for the last couple of months now. John has been obsessively talking to all these different brands. There are so many fun, and we've tried everything, all these different kinds of drinks and food and all this fun snacks that we're bringing in. We've tried all of it. It is phenomenal. And the quality of the food and drinks that you are going to get. Like John said, I fucking hate Bud Light. I'm sorry. I fucking hate it. I'm never drinking it again. I don't care. I'm not interested. And to be able to have the chance to just drink these nice new craft beers, places that you might have never seen some of these things before. Quality cocktails in a can. It's going to be ridiculous. And obviously, it's the Vikings on Monday Night Football to open this season. It's going to be completely out of control. So, yes, please make sure you buy that. Again, the link is in the Discord right now if you're here with us live. And for everybody else, we'll have that in the show notes for you. And you can go check it out, because, again, it's going to run till 11 a.m. on Saturday. But, John, look who's here at the block party.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome.
He needs to request to speak.
Oh yes, please request to speak, Mr. Trill Bro.
He's very shy.
Hand in the air.
He's never been a public speaker before. This is all podcasting is just so new to him. He's never done it before. This is his first podcast appearance, I think.
But from Ball.
This would be an epic troll if he just never puts his hands up and stares at us in the chat this whole time. I really hope that's the case. Yeah, Trill, if you're there, buddy, he might have walked away for a minute because he said 9 o'clock.
Well, we will definitely talk to Trill Bro Dude from the Ball podcast, because you know what, we got to figure out which pod are we getting, or which trip we're taking him on. I would love if he came on the Washington trip with us or something like that. Or maybe we could go see the aforementioned Chicago or something, because I know we wanted to go out there and see Soldier Field die for one last time. So.
Yeah, so Trill, it's the hand icon. He's got it. His hand is raised, and there he is. Trill, yo.
Are you there, buddy?
Figured it out.
Yay!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, from
How we doing?
it is Trill, bro, dude. Trill, we have got to get your immediate reaction to Josh Harris buying Center City and whether or not you think that. I think
just
that,
what do you think?
yeah, what do you think? And I think the Eagles end up making a new stadium because of this, but we'll get into that in a second.
Well, I mean, just like everything the Sixers do, they didn't think it out at all. They're putting it in a part of the city that is only going to be accessible by public transportation, and our public transportation is not great. So I don't know. I'm not really worried about something that's going to be, probably if any player is still on the team, it's probably only Tyrese Maxey. So I'll worry about that in a few years. I've never been a huge fan of a lot of things that the Sixers ownership group has done, but I mean, it makes sense to have their own stadium at least. I just probably would have put it in a different part of the city that didn't, that had like spots where you can put cars. I don't know. Maybe if you've ever been to Philadelphia before, you know that everyone drives here.
What do you think?
So there's that. But but.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I was just going to say, wait, you don't think the convention center is a convenient parking lot?
Yeah, they're going to have to put them on the roof of the stadium. It's going to be really interesting.
Well, yeah, from what I've heard, I've already got I have a special source. I haven't told either of you this. I have a special source that let me know that the stadium is actually going to be called Color Star Stadium. So they're back with the Sixers.
Oh, nice.
So
good.
Quality concrete's going to be dropped all over the city. There's going to be so much parking they could do. It's also going to be accessible by the metaverse, and it's going to be great, Trill. So I'm just letting you know, don't worry. Everything's fine.
Well, Daryl Morey must be in heaven right now, I have to say. I think that he's probably going to be very pumped about this venture in a few years. I'm sure he'll hang around for a decade so that he can see this metaverse come to life.
Yeah, that's it's very, very exciting that the metaverse is coming to the gallery, and that's the one thing I think Philadelphia needs for sure. Yeah, I whether this is my other take. I think, is it possible? Because I just think Comcast wants to get out of sports. Could the Eagles just buy the Flyers and just be the new version of Ed Snyder?
Yeah, I mean, hold on. John, earlier you said that you believe that the Eagles are going to build a new stadium, and I saw you say that on Twitter earlier.
Yeah.
And it made me feel extremely old when you said that. I was like, Lincoln Financial Fields? Lincoln Financial Fields only been around for what? Oh, God, it's almost been 20 years.
Yeah. It's old. It is old, man. So, and it's really old, like technological wise too. There's not like a lot of fun things to do. Like, I enjoy a game at the Link, but I don't love a game at the Link, and I think I'd rather watch an Eagles game on TV if I had to pick.
I'm just kind of that way about football in general. Like, I'm like a big football watch on television, see everything guy. But like if a stadium, like going to Soldier Field, or like, I went to Penn State, so obviously like being at Beaver Stadium, like there's experiences that would be really cool if they could bring it to the Eagles Stadium, because we have the craziest fans. So should definitely be a better fan experience for sure.
And that was the thing for me with them moving the stadium to begin with. I was talking with John about this a little bit earlier. It's just the whole idea of, like, I love that vibe in South Philly now. So I hate the idea that it can get disrupted, especially because I think Sixers fans are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, honestly, it's just how
Taylor Cordanis is just shaking his head.
Yeah, Taylor loses his mind over it. But I got to tell you, it's just they're so into it, the way they've been diehard supporters of the team, all the goofy, dumb stuff that pops up along the way. I love Sixers fans, and to see how dedicated they are and thinking about them not being at the complex sometimes, like that sucks to me, man.
I have never met a man who said so many wrong things on the show.
It does feel weird. It feels very weird.
See, yeah. Trill misses it. He has sense. He has fun. All right, John, you miserable prick.
All I was gonna say is it does feel weird to like separate one of the four from the area, because my whole life I've just been used to literally everyone being there. So moving one, even if it's the Sixers, whoever, the Flyers, whatever, it's just strange to not have everything in the complex together. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. The Sixers, especially their ownership group. I like the conspiracy theory that my buddy Matt from Twitter came up with, which was when this plan inevitably fails, they could then say, see, we tried. We got to move it to Camden now.
Oh boy, that's exactly what's happening. They're just going to build this rinky. How many seats are they going to put in that thing? Was that in the article? I just skimmed it. It was just what they're going to make it like a 10,000 seater.
No, I honestly don't know.
That would be very.
I have no idea. I mean, it's 20,000 right now at Wells Fargo. So.
Yeah, it's just to make it a 10,000 seater, make every seat $700 or something like that, and be like, yeah, good luck using the regional rail for that ticket price or something like that. I don't know. I just I think this. I'm having the same feelings. Like it's just going to disrupt that thing we've known our entire life of. You get off on 95, you get off on 76. Everyone just is tailgating in parking lots, and now it's gonna shift a little bit here. And yeah, maybe it doesn't matter for the Sixers or for Eagles fans at this very moment. I just over the next couple of years, it might be, I don't know, it might just be the Eagles in South Philly by the time it's all said and done. I have no idea. John Middleton's just as crazy.
True.
So and stadium was built around the same time. So
yeah, that's true, right? Like everything is going to get
Philadelphia
uprooted.
really hate change. So
that is the truth. It's not the most adaptable at times, which is charming at times and frustrating at others. But yeah, I mean, guys, like this is the story of the decade now. Like the next decade is all of these teams in this one complex where the city has been, and all these people have grown up in that now. I mean, even going back to the Spectrum and the Vet, like it has been forever that all these teams have been playing like this, and thinking about it moving is just, it's crazy. Like it is literally the core of Philadelphia to me, and I don't know.
Thanks chiming into the block party part of it and saying all this
talk. You don't have, you know.
Oh, sorry, buddy. All this talking down of the link mere hours before I bought tickets to my first game there. Sorry, Nanks, but the whiskey will be flowing when you get here. I promise that, my friend. So that's funny.
And the crowd is great.
The crowd is great. It's just like, it's a stadium. It's just,
it's
like it's when you look at a car, you're like, oh, it's a car. It's great.
Very 2007.
Yeah, very 2007.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Chevy Impala. Wow.
Silver.
Don't you dare disrespect the Chevy Impala.
It's my first car. There's nothing wrong with the Chevy Impala.
It's totally fine. That was my second car because before that I drove a forest green Chevy Lumina, which everybody from the 90s drove, and I drove in 2016.
I've never heard of a Chevy Lumina, so retract that statement.
I was going to say, I didn't know you were 45.
Yeah, the car was, and the transmission died on the turnpike like 30 times. I was like, yeah, no, this is fine.
That's see, and when I was around, everyone drove a Saturn. That was like the shitty car that everyone had.
Do they still make Saturns?
I hope not.
I don't know. I know Oldsmobile's gone.
No.
Okay, R.I.P. Saturn. Pluto's gone. Saturn's gone. We're losing planets everywhere.
Scion, you out there?
Folks.
More importantly, can you make Jalen Hurts great so we don't have to think about quarterback anymore, at least for like a year? Is that possible this year, Trill?
That sounds amazing to me. I would love to never have to worry about the Eagles quarterback situation again. I honestly, maybe I'm just fucking high on the supply. I don't really know what it is, but I just want Jalen Hurts to be good so bad. I was thinking about it before I came on here, and I was like, I don't think I've been this high on the Eagles in so long, and everything comes down to Jalen Hurts. So first off, I love the plan that they had to give him every opportunity to grow. And if he fails this year, then he's not the guy. They put enough pieces around him. He's in the second year of this offense. I think the way that he works super hard, if he doesn't get to the point where he is a legit top 12 guy or whatever that it takes to be a contender in the NFL, then I think that it's only because his limitations just, like, he's not talented enough, basically. I think he'll try as hard as he can, but ultimately, he works really hard. He seems like a great dude. I'm rooting for him. He's still really young. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like sipping the Jalen Hurts Kool-Aid, but I really think that he is bound to have a breakout year, and it's gonna swing the team into contention.
Well, Vince wants him to fail, so
Oh,
that would
screw
be
you. That is
his
ridiculous.
dream scenario would be not that top 12 guy. So
I love the guy. I love the guy though. That's my problem. Is I love the guy and I look at the player and I go, yeah, well, I mean, he's interesting, he's fun, but like, is he good? I don't know. I don't know.
So he's Jordan Davis to you.
He's how dare you? How dare you saying that name in front of me? For me, it's like I'm trying to think of the best example of this. You know what it was like? Josh Allen in the beginning of his career. He was fun. He wasn't good. He was fun.
He was fun to make fun of. Yeah.
Entertaining.
Yes, he was running around all over the place. He made the occasional big play. You're like, wow, he's a really good athlete. Like maybe he becomes something, but I have no idea. And Hurts is still kind of that guy. Now I know a lot of people have been like, oh well, he's going to be Josh Allen. He's going to blow up like Josh Allen. Like get the hell out of here. It's a historical anomaly. So I doubt that. But can he be better? I hope.
Right.
I hope.
Can I just say it's hilarious that we think Josh Allen is a historical anomaly?
He literally is.
Oh, absolutely he is.
How is he?
He is though.
From where he
I
started?
agree with that.
From
he
where
was
he
so
started.
bad.
Yes,
He was.
Yeah, he was so bad when
he
he
was
started.
a 53% passer for a full season as a starter in the modern era. He was a
Even-
1940s quarterback out there.
He was not a 19. Hold on.
He couldn't pass for shit.
Right, but what could he do? Throw it a fucking mile. So
Okay,
if
to the
you
other
just
team.
wait-
Yeah, to somebody else.
Right.
Exactly.
Or
So-
incomplete.
So if you looked at that kid in Montana, which everyone did,
Or-
and said that's not going to happen, or what was it?
Wyoming.
Wyoming. My bad. There was no. You just had to sit and wait, and like it either hit or it didn't, and if it hit, just like Joel Embiid, oh shit, he became the greatest player in the NBA. Josh Allen became the greatest quarterback in the NFL.
Oh,
I mean,
It's the same thing.
I don't know.
It's not
to
a-
be
it's
fair
not
with
an
the
anomaly.
with the Joel Embiid comparison, like Joel Embiid was an insane prospect coming out and was already really good at basketball by the time he came in.
I know it's hard to
the NBA.
Yeah,
like
like
the,
that, but-
the theoretical comparison, it would be like more like Anthony Edwards in the NBA, where like
There you go.
saw the insane upside, where you're like the flashes, the moments where you're like, holy shit, this guy could be elite. The athleticism, the talent, just the ability itself is amazing. But like Josh Allen was pretty bad at football for a good chunk of the beginning of his career, and he grew into what he is now. And it's kind of similar to a guy like an Anthony Edwards, who like wasn't particularly a good basketball player, but you were like, if you can put it all together, the tools are there to grow into what we think can be an elite quarterback. And I actually tend to agree. I think he is kind of an outlier. Like, to play as poorly as he did in his first 2 seasons, it's not like Peyton Manning, where like Peyton Manning had a rough rookie year in a bad situation and then became like a very good quarterback in his second season. Like, he was pretty not good for 2 years.
Yeah.
And now he's like, what, a top 5 quarterback? Like, he's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, some people would call him the most talented quarterback in the league right now. For me, Josh Allen is getting rich on Dogecoin. Like, there's 2 people that did it, and everybody else lost money. I just can't.
What?
It was a great analogy, okay? It was a great analogy, and you're all welcome. But it was just, it's like, it's impossible. Like, it doesn't happen. And so, yeah, I mean, Hurts could be a solid player. Like, I think the fair ceiling is like, is he and obviously the mental isn't the same, but can he be like a Dak Prescott kind of quarterback? Maybe.
By the way, speaking of that, I did want to touch on that with Trill for a little bit. I mean, today, Kyler Murray got paid an awful lot of money. An awful lot of money. Second highest in the league, right, in terms of QB?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think Dak Prescott is royally pissed at that right now? Speaking of him?
Well, he should be, but I guess
I would imagine.
Yeah, but I guess here's my question, and like this is NBA relevant too when you're thinking about where the contracts have gone with these guys. If I was an elite player, whether it was NBA, NFL, quarterback, whatever, I would just ask for ownership of the team at this point. If you're getting paid $250 million, I mean, really,
There's some bargaining agreement.
you
thing,
got all the
I'm
leverage.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if there's some rule that blocks it, I'd be like, fuck it. That's what I would campaign on next in the CBA for either of those leagues. I'd go, look, we're worth that much money. You're paying us that much money. You might as well make us ownership.
LeBron and Patrick Mahomes have ownership in other franchises, in baseball teams and soccer teams and all that stuff.
Yeah, the Red
What's
Sox. I just
stopping
called
them?
racist.
You know, just own the team that they're on. I'm very. Oh yeah, I know that was a hilarious move by LeBron, who has apparently said on the record before he's never experienced that in Boston, which. I don't know. LeBron says a lot of things, and I don't think that he would lie about people being racist towards him in Boston.
No.
But anyway, long story short here, with the ownership, like I'm very much pro for like the reason why the league makes the money it makes is because of the star quarterbacks, because of the star receivers. They're putting their lives on the line. They're putting their bodies on the line for entertainment. And I think that they should absolutely have a stake in ownership, just generally speaking. But once again, the owners in the league would just never, ever go for that sort of thing, especially in the NBA, because the NBA, the players already have a ton of power, more so than the NFL, I would say. So with the NFL, like, I'm glad to see Kyler Murray get paid the way that he is, but like, it seems like the only guys that really ever get superstar NBA money are quarterbacks. And I think that, there are plenty of important positions and guys in the league that could also pull that kind of money and probably would if they had a better union and collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah. Tom Brady's already done that illegally. So, more power to everybody that wants to try and do any of that stuff. So here's the thing, though. That would just be like, hey, guess what? We're only playing 10 games. I feel like it's just like there'll be enough minority owners that'll just be like, well, just all the money, but 5 games. I'm totally down for it. I'm up for new things. So whatever. Well,
the only thing is that if they know they can make more money, I think they would probably still want to play the same amount of games, because the more games you play, the more money you make. And if they're getting a portion of the money that's being brought in, the revenue sharing, as we know, I think they would probably be totally fine with playing the same amount of games. Right now, they're always trying to push for more in the NFL because it's the king. It's God in America.
And money's good.
Money is good. Well, True, we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight and just saying hi. And definitely, if you are even the smallest Sixer fan, you must go subscribe to Ball on the podcast, on his YouTube page, and
TikTok now. Launching the TikTok channel, Trill. I love to see it.
That's right. Yeah. No, I'm going to be the only 32-year-old to ever blow up on TikTok.
A dinosaur
Finally.
Out there.
Finally.
We're rooting for you.
We appreciate it, man, and hopefully we'll see you down at some tailgates. And certainly, do you want to just come on the bus with us to Washington? I think we should probably just do that.
Let's talk logistics off the air. But thank you for having me. I can't guarantee anything right now because of
right.
You know why, John.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
That's
no
right.
problem. We'll kidnap you, and
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
But, hey, look, I'm down with it. Honestly, like,
Who doesn't love a good kidnapping?
You want me to call out sick, whatever? It's fine. No, but thank you for having me. Obviously, I will see you guys soon, and go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go
Later, Trill.
Birds.
Thanks, man.
See you, Trill.
The wonderful Trill Bro Dude, as always, joined us in the first ever Discord block party. And should we mention our wonderful clothing here, or
Yeah, let's do that. Let's let the people know, John.
So finally, after a year of searching, literally, we have finally come through with the Bell and the Birdmen podcast shirts. They are right here on our bare-boned chests, and I am excited to say that they are available to finally purchase, everybody. Thanks to our good friends over at, get this, PhillySportsShirts.com, where they're going to have our literal own Bell and the Birdman store that is right there. And we're going to continuously add to that bad boy as we have found some really creative artists to do some really fun stuff. So the Bell and the Birdmen podcast shirts are available at phillysportshirts.com. I believe it's just /Bell and the Bird. Is that correct?
So phillysportshirts.com/Bell. Now what we're going to do is we're also going to put a link in the chat because the promo code that Drew over there gave us is amazing. Because if you haven't seen Philly Sports Shirts, first off, his designs are phenomenal, and he does it for not just the Eagles. Like, he has a Slim Reaper design that I really love. He's got this Eagles
Road
shirt.
to Victory one on there is really cool.
With Deshaun Jackson is on that.
Yep.
And then there's another one that's it just says fly in this cursive, but it looks gorgeous. So he's got a lot of beautiful Eagles shirts, but then he's got some Fanatic stuff, which is fun for the Phillies, some Sixers stuff. So he's got everything. I mean, there's Flyer stuff on there, but like, come on. I'm sorry, Drew, but come on.
Yeah.
So, but you get 15% off the entire store right now, and there's no minimum. So we're running that for 48 hours.
Amazing.
So the Philly Sports Trips for the tailgate, that's going to end at 11 a.m. That code is BIRDS2022. And then for the shirts, whole store 15% off. Your code is BELL15. So BELL15. That's all you need to put in, and we'll drop the link there in a second. But oh my God, getting the shirts out is such a relief. And honestly, I'm so pleased with how these came out.
And shout out to everybody who pre-ordered and hung on, and you're the reason why we have shirts in the first place. So we are going to make sure to put something extra in yours and give you a nice little, what I'm going to consider the Bell and the Bird member box club, which I don't know. We'll tell you about that at a future date. But some really cool stuff from our partners. So thank you so much for all your pre-orders. You're definitely going to get rewarded for that. All right. So thank you so much for joining our first ever Bell and the Birdmen block party. It's great to meet some Australians. It's great to meet some people from Tennessee, and of course all our friends out in the Northeast. So amazing that you can go get a discounted tailgate ticket for the Vikings opener on Monday Night Football. $85 to $75 for an all-inclusive, amazing, drink whatever you want, eat whatever you want until the game starts tickets. And just use the promo code BIRDS2022 at phillysportstrips.com. You can see all the tailgates that are available currently right now. And, of course, phillysportshirts.com, which is our brand new partner hosting these new bad boys on our chest. It's the Bell and the Birdmen podcast shirts are live and available in there too. And just go to phillysportstrips.com/Bell to see all the new things that we're going to continue to put in our store. And Vince Quinn, your beautiful face, have to say anything before we say goodbye to everybody on the pod and the show?
Yeah, so first off, again, with those deals, it's going to be for Philly Sports Trips. That's till 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, so make sure you get moving on that because you do not have time. And you'll have a little bit more with Philly Sports Shirts, as that's a 48-hour code, and that is going to be BELL15 is what you're going to put in, and that's the entire store. It's not just our shirt, which is incredible when you look at what Drew makes over there. It's just so good. So that's one thing. But on the other side, yeah, I mean, thank you to everybody. Thank all of you for not just being around with us tonight or listening to the podcast whenever you are having the chance to catch up with us, but for just being a part of this. Like, we're about to start season 2. You know, training camp's coming up in just a couple of days here. And to think of what this show was a year ago when we first got it started and the amount of support that you've given us as we've been building this thing and growing it and all the people that we've met along the way, it's just been so incredibly fun. I feel so fortunate to be a part of this, to work with you, John, to work with you, Taylor. And to see where everything's going, it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. I mean, we're going on the road this year, guys. So thanks to everybody that said they're buying trips. Thanks for everybody that's excited to meet us out there. We are excited as can be to meet you too. It's going to be a great fucking year. Go Birds.
Season 2, we give back to you. Ha ha! We'll see you out there. Okay, bye.